Hey kids, it's Alabama Annie here at the piano on a rainy Saturday morning. It's nice and cool outdoors, and I'm going to play you a tune from World War II that I learned when I was a kid, provided I can remember it because I've had trouble working with it this morning. It's called Straighten Up and Fly Right, and it's about a monkey. And the reason this ever came up at all is a friend of mine mentioned The Wizard of Oz, and the flying monkeys came to mind. And then a couple of people told me, well, I know I've had an experience with a monkey, and I had too. So that's how this episode came about. Here we go. Straighten up and fly right. A buzzer took the monkey for a ride in the air. The monkey thought that everything was fair and square. The buzzer tried to dump the monkey off his back. The monkey shook his head and said, now listen, Jack. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Pop, don't you blow your top. What's the sense in diving? Ain't no use in jiving. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Pop, don't you blow your top. Buzzer told the monkey, you're choking me. Let go your hold and I'll set you free. The buzzer tried to dump the monkey off his back. The monkey shook his head and said, now listen, Jack. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Pop, don't you blow your top. What's the sense in diving? Ain't no use in jiving. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Pop, don't you blow your top. So there we go. Straighten up and fly right. Now I'm going to tell you a tale. I'll tell you mine first. There was a petting zoo in Mentone, Alabama, back when I was at the Mentone Inn. And at the petting zoo were a few monkeys. But there was this one particular monkey. They had, I think his name was Albie. And he was cool. He was pretty cool. He and I kind of bonded. I would bring him scraps from the kitchen, and he always enjoyed the snacks. And then one day I was there visiting the petting zoo, and I brought him some treats, and I made my way to his enclosure. And there happened to be a troop of Boy Scouts and some Scoutmasters, and I was talking to a couple of them, and I had been feeding Albie the treats until I got sidetracked, but Albie didn't like that. And somehow, through his enclosure, I wore my hair just like this at the time. He reaches out with his little hand and grabs me by my hair and pulls me into the fencing and has a grip on it, and I'm going, holy crap, what am I gonna do? Finally, one of the attendants came over and released me from his grip, and he had a wad of my hair in his little hand. And I was like, oh, you just made me mad, monkey. And so I gave his treats to someone else, and it really then ticked him off. And we never had a good relationship after that, to say the least. But I'll never forget it because his grip was very, very strong, definitely. And then I'm going to tell you this tale. A family member told me something about her I had never heard before. She said that when she was a teenager, she had a friend who had a pet monkey. And she kept the pet monkey in the backyard of their home in an enclosure. And one day, my family member was visiting her friend, and she said, you want to go see the monkey? And she said, sure. So they go up. She says, you want to go in the enclosure? And she said, sure. So her friend opened the enclosure gate, and then as a joke, closed it behind her, and locked her in with the monkey. And she was totally freaking out because the monkey was sizing her up and kind of moving around her and touching her and so forth. And she couldn't get out. And she was like, let me out of here. And the monkey was getting a little aggressive. And she was starting to really be disturbed by this. And she said it traumatized her. So finally her friend let her out of the enclosure. And I don't think she ever talked to her again. Now, I can't blame her, you know. That was a pretty cruel joke, in my opinion, because I knew I'd ticked my monkey off. But, you know, this monkey was just there with her in the enclosure. Yeah, and that's some kind of friend, huh? And then the next one is a friend of mine told me that years ago they visited a petting zoo somewhere. And the friend's mother wore glasses, and she got a little too close to the cage. And the monkey had been, you know, looking at her and making cute little sounds and reaching out and trying to touch her. And then the monkey snatched her glasses off her face and wouldn't give them back, of course. I don't know if the monkey put the glasses on or not, but he took the glasses. And so they finally got someone to go in and got the glasses back, I believe. And then, you know, she never wanted to be very close to a monkey again after that as well. So that's the three little tales. And, you know, I've read strange things about chimpanzees and how they are very vicious. And I can believe that because of that grip that monkey had on me. So anyway, that's the story for the day. I'm going to close it out with a little bit of that again. Straighten up and fly right. Yeah, straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you pull your top. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode and you'll join me again. Have a great weekend.